Hi there. This is a set of videos that I put together just for you. I look forward to reading your comments and receiving your suggestions on how to make these videos more enjoyable or ideas for specific content that you might have. Thanks for watching. Today, some very nice Porsches, including a 997 GT3, a newer Speedster, a 964 Turbo 3.6, and Cayman R, plus a Ferrari F355. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, an Alpine White 1986 944 with 69,000 miles sold for $8,420. A bargain sale price, this was a nice all-around car with recent maintenance. A black 1987 928 S4 with 122,000 miles sold for $32,000. I'm guessing that the potential bidders saw the mileage and failed to more thoroughly review the car as expressed in the photos. This was an exceptionally clean condition, and it was well purchased. A Guards Red 12,000 mile 2007 911 GT3 presented by a great seller sold for $150,000. A top of market price on an exceptional car, this was well sold. I could do with replacing the excess red inside. To me, those just detract from an otherwise perfect presentation. A Grand Prix White 1990 911 C2 Coupe with 67,000 miles sold for $146,000. Another 911 in wonderful condition. This 964 was well sold. Look at those seats. A GT Silver 1100 mile 2019 911 Speedster sold for $355,000. A Canadian market example imported to the U.S. by the selling dealer, this car stickered for about $250,000. Some noted that prices are coming down to earth. This was very well sold. An Amethyst 1994 911 Turbo 3.6 with 21,000 miles sold for $401,000. 3 months ago, it sold on here for $401,000. About that sale, I said it was well sold, and I maintain that belief, despite 2 transactions at the same inflated price. On the Ferrari side, a Rosso Corsa over black Euro 1999 Ferrari F355 GTS with 47,000 kilometers, located in the Netherlands, sold for $140,500. By comparison to other recent sales, the price is a low number. However, location plays a role, as does the fact that this is less than 25 years old, and therefore not yet able to take advantage of antique car import rules. This was a fair sale. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you receive notice about tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On P-Car Market, a Meteor Gray 42,000 mile Porsche Cayman R sold for $67,000. The sale price on this was fair, and I'll suggest that it soon will be seen as a bargain. I really like the Rs. It tempts me nearly enough to step away from a 911 for my next purchase. I'll show more and talk about this 987 on today's short video. 2 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserves not met today, January 2nd. A Polar Silver Tech Art modified 1998 Porsche 911 S Coupe located in the Netherlands with 121,000 kilometers was bid to $90,000. A Delphi Green 1973 Porsche 911 T Coupe was bid to $70,500. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 72, a 2002, a 2022, and others. Stick around. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a Speed Yellow 17,000 mile 2002 Boxster sold for $24,000. This car sold on Bring a Trailer for $25,750 in 2019, and again earlier this year for $28,916. At the time of both previous sales, the car had approximately 5,000 miles. Today, the sale reflects 12,000 additional miles put on by the seller, and the drop in value is appropriate. This was a fair sale. On Cars and Bids, a chalk over black 2022 Porsche Boxster Spyder with 2,700 miles sold for $114,718. Sticker on this car was $114,490. This 718 was well sold, just like a new car. On P-Car Market, a Grand Prix White over Gray-Green Euro 32,000 mile 1986 Porsche 911 Cabriolet M491 sold for $81,911. An uncommon combination. The gray-green seats have cloth centers, and then there's the wide body rear end. This would have been better without the intakes and strakes. This was a bit higher than fair. It was well sold. A very attractive GT Silver over Truffle Brown 2020 911S Cabriolet with 29,000 miles sold for $115,000. With a sticker price of $148,000, this car has taken a huge hit, losing more than 20% of its value. This was a fair sale. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. A Guards Red 32,000 mile 1983 944 sold for $14,200. Equipped with Berber seating surfaces, this was an interesting car. The red floor mats, they just need to be thrown away. This was a fair sale. A blue over black 1972 911T Targa sold for $100,500. I like blue Porsches, and I like sports seats. This car has both, and I'm on the fence. Something doesn't seem to add up on this car, despite its restoration and rebuilding. This was well sold. 2 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, January 3rd. A chalk over black 2021 Porsche Spyder 718 was bid to $108,000. A black 15,000 mile 2002 Porsche 911 Turbo Coupe was bid to $87,000. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 2022 911 GTS, a couple of other 911s, and on the Italian side, a Dino. Yellow. Gaillo. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a black 2022 911 GTS Coupe with 2,600 miles presented by a great seller sold for $166,500. With a sticker price of $162,000, this was the 992 that was well sold. An Alpine White 23 years owned 1989 944 with 108,000 miles sold for $15,200. Included with this sale was an extra set of wheels and tires. This seems to have been a good buy, even though it is due for a belt service. A black 2000 911 Coupe with 82,000 miles sold for $30,000. This is a clean-looking car, but it gives some of us onlookers yellow fever. This was well sold. A Meteor Gray over Sand Beige 2009 911S Cabriolet with 54,000 miles sold for $50,997. A nice car. Yellow fever. This was a fair sale. On the Italian side, a yellow 1972 Dino 246 GT with 79,000 miles presented by a great seller sold for $500,000. A beautiful car. This was at the top of fair pricing, edging into well sold. I'll show more and talk about this car and Dino's in today's short video. A single-sided illuminated Ferrari dealer sign measuring approximately 64 by 16 inches sold for $7,600. It's a sign. Well sold. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you receive notice about tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. 3 Porsches on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserves not met today, January 4th. A Grand Prix White 1991 Porsche 911 Turbo with 93,000 miles was bid to $120,000. A Guards Red 1988 Porsche 944 Turbo with 54,000 miles was bid to $28,250. A Midnight Blue over Marble Gray 1996 Porsche 911 Cabriolet with 70,000 miles was bid to $55,993. On Cars and Bids, a Ferrari 328 GTS with 49,000 miles was bid to $48,500. Maybe if they had taken off the roof panel. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today's cars include a Rubystone Porsche Carrera RS and a Ferrari 599 GTB. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a black 2001 911 Coupe with 82,000 miles sold for $31,750. I like this look. Equipped with Aero Kit and advanced Technic packages, this 996 was a fair purchase, nearly a bargain. I could do without the Arctic Silver console, though. Another black 996, this a modified 2004 Turbo with 59,000 miles sold for $61,500. Built to increase the performance of the stock Turbo, this engine is said to produce 585 horsepower at the crank on premium fuel. This car also wears GT3 wheels in body color, an uncommon option. Similar to the previous car, I could forego the aluminum look trim pieces. Otherwise, for a modified 996, this was a fair sale. A Guards Red 1987 944 Turbo with 34,000 miles sold for $52,000. A great looking car, a good Guards Red and sports seats, and a top of market sale. Well sold. A Cassis Red 1988 911 Coupe with 55,000 miles sold for $82,500. Not photographed in a way to best express Cassis Red, this was a fair sale, even though the interior is a bit much. Speaking of being a bit much, a Rubystone Red 1992 911 Carrera RS Club Sport with 40,000 kilometers sold for $401,000. A striking car. One of 290 Club Sport examples, this car seems to have been a fair sale. I'll talk more about this and other RSs in today's short video. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On the Ferrari side, a blue 9,000-mile 2007 599 GTB Fiorano 6-speed conversion sold for $256,000. The factory produced only a couple dozen 6-speeds out of the 3,000 examples. The conversion cost on this at $40,000 easily added to the value of the unmodified car, perhaps a bit more. This was well sold. On PCAR Market, a Grand Prix white over blue 40,000-mile 1988 911 Turbo Cabriolet sold for $97,000. A nice car, only lacking sports seats to be better. The engine on this Turbo needs a bit of work to rectify an oil leak. There's a spot on the roof and a crack on the dash. Still, I think this was well purchased. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, all Porsches, including a slant nose, a trio of 99s, a Turbo S. Fun, fun, fun. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, an Arena Red over Sea of Graphite Gray 1999 Boxster with 69,000 miles, presented by a great seller, sold for $18,000. A fair sale on a nice exterior color. The interior doesn't win any prizes from me, but overall, the car is attractive. An Ocean Blue over Savannah Beige 1999 911 Cabriolet with 83,000 miles sold for $20,750. A horribly photographed car. This color is beautiful, but nowhere in this listing can you see it, and out of more than 100 photos, only a couple have hints of blue. Despite the yellow interior, this was well purchased. Another 99 911, this a triple black C4 Cabriolet with 74,000 miles sold for $22,000. Acquired here in 2020 for $20,500 and 3,000 miles ago, this 996 is in decent shape and it was well purchased. Another sea of gray interior, this in an Arctic Silver 26,000 mile 2001 911 Coupe sold for $35,000. This was fair to well purchased for a 996 with a story. In 2018, the car was taken in for service, and under advice of the shop, the IMS was rebuilt, and the engine as well. $31,000 later, an engine bored out to 3.8 liters, producing about 330 horsepower, and seemingly well done. A quartz gray metallic over black 1981 911 SC Targa with 34,000 miles sold for $39,500. This isn't a perfect car, but it does seem mostly solid. The wheels should be sold. They're BBS mag centers, so they have value, and then they can be swapped out for another choice. This was a fair sale. A GT Silver over black, 48,000 mile 2005 911 Turbo S Cabriolet sold for $67,000. A tremendous bargain. Turbo S production numbers total less than 1,000 cabs for both manual and automatic transmissions. I am envious. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. A Grand Prix White 1987 911 Turbo Coupe M505 slant nose with 18,000 miles sold for $265,000. I'm not a slant nose fan. This low-mile 930 had a reserve price of about $200,000. It was well sold today. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you receive notice about tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On Cars and Bids, a lightly modified Guards Red 2001 911 with 136,000 miles sold for $20,250. Fab Speed exhaust and intake system, shocks, painted wheels. Not too many mods for a car with this mileage. This was a fair sale. On PCAR Market, a Sienna over black 1977 911S Targa with 187,000 miles sold for $31,911. Not a 100% car, but a worthy car because of the color combo and better than average condition. This was a fair sale. A Porsche 917 painting measuring 54 by 34 inches sold for $1,250. It's a piece of art. This was a fair sale. One car on Bring a Trailer was bid with its reserve not met today, January 6th. A Guards Red 1981 911 SC Coupe with 91,000 miles was bid to $48,750. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a couple of mid-engine cars and a 911. On the Ferrari side, a front-engine V12 and a mid-engine V8. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a white over black 1972 914 sold for $17,914. A decent car with a few rough spots. This was a fair sale. A black 2008 Cayman S with 51,000 miles sold for $30,500. This seems to have been a fair sale on an honestly presented car. A seal gray over sand beige 2006 911 S Coupe with 53,000 miles sold for $48,750. I love 997s, and the exterior color is great. The interior, not for me. 997s are bringing more than I think is fair these days. This was well sold. On the Ferrari side, a Rosso Corsa over Nero 30,000 mile Euro 2001 360 Spider sold for $101,100. This car has higher mileage than most, and it also suffered an accident. Given this history, the car was a fair sale today. A Rosso Corsa over 10 550 Barchetta Pininfarina with 11,000 miles sold for $420,000. Number 366 of 448 produced, celebrating 70 years of design house Pininfarina. This seems to have been a fair sale. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. If you've enjoyed this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 912 and a 993. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a slate gray 1967 912 Coupe project car sold for $45,912. A very attractive car. There is some rust. There is a need to rebuild or replace the engine, and the interior is red and black. And this was a pricey sale. A Glacier White 1997 911 C4S with 61,000 miles sold for $156,000. These 993s are fabulous cars, and this one is impressive. I'm not a fan of wood trim pieces. Many like them. Beyond aesthetics, wood, aluminum, carbon fiber, not well suited to exceptional tactile car control. Leather works well. This 993 was sold about right, perhaps with a slight premium for glacier white. No extra for cashmere beige. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. That is a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, a Porsche that sold, one that didn't, and a rare Ferrari. Hi there. On P-Car Market, an Arctic Silver 2006 Porsche 911 C4 with 60,000 miles sold for $32,000. Yesterday I commented that many 997s are selling for what I believe is too much money. This was a fair sale on a nice wide-body 997. On Bring a Trailer, our Ferrari honorary selection is a Rosso Corsa and Nero 2011 599 GTO with 4,000 miles that sold for $690,000. Just 599 of these were manufactured. 125 sent to the U.S. 6-liter V12, 656 horsepower, and 459 pounds-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in the 3-second range. This was a fair sale, in line with previous 599 GTO sold. I'll show more and talk about the car in today's short video. One Porsche on Bring a Trailer was bid with its reserve not met today, January 9th. Guards Red Over Black 1982 911 SC with 83,000 miles was bid to $41,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include Boxsters and 911s, while the Italian side is represented by a sign. And we have a bonus car today. Stick around. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, an Arctic Silver over Black 21,000 mile 2004 Porsche Boxster S sold for $24,250. Acquired on this platform in October for $27,500, this car has had 8 owners. 8 that drove the car an average of a little more than 1,000 miles a year. Crazy. This was a fair sale on a nice car. A lightly modified Grand Prix White 1985 911 Coupe with a couple 100,000 miles from a great seller sold for $90,000. Carfax shows 197,000 miles on this car as of 2014, and the car looks great. This was on the high side of a fair sale. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. A single-sided, illuminated Porsche dealership sign measuring 12 feet in length sold for $8,888. Lucky. On the Italian side, a single-sided, illuminated Ferrari dealership sign measuring 30 by 50 inches sold for $6,100. Their signs. Well sold. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you receive notice about tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On Cars and Bids, a Speed Yellow over Black 2000 Porsche Boxster S with 100,000 miles sold for $10,800. A total bargain. This car needs a little touch-up paint and minor repairs to the top and seats. This was a very well-purchased 986. On P-Car Market, a lightly modified Silver over Black 1984 Porsche 911 Cabriolet with 86,000 miles sold for $33,250. A terrific purchase on an imperfect 911 cab. The few items that need work are manageable, and they can be addressed while regularly driving the car, if one can turn a wrench and occasionally cough up a little money. The dash is cracked, the seats are rough. Still, a very nice purchase. A 904 GTS painted enamel sign measuring 24 by 16 inches sold for $725. It's a sign. Well sold. A bonus car today, a red with white stripes. Does that give it away? 22,000 mile 2005 Ford GT sold for $295,555. This is relatively high mileage for a GT, but its price is roughly in line with others recently sold on Bring a Trailer. 2 Porsches on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserves not met today, January 10th. A white modified 1968 912 Coupe 4-speed was bid to $36,000. This car has had some work done to it, and some of it's helpful and other aspects questionable. I think the bid was fair. A red over black with a tan top 1955 356 Pre-A 1500 Speedster was bid to $260,000. Poor outdoor photography made this car look orange. Many commenters supported the color presentation as looking correct. I just don't agree. On P-Car Market, a very nice Carrera White 2012 Porsche 911 GTS with 97,000 miles was bid to $67,997. These are uncommon. Only 311 six-speed 997 GTSs came to North America. This bid was about the right price. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, a trio of GT3s, a couple of turbos, and more. 356 to 992. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, an Arctic Silver over Black 2003 Boxster with 89,000 miles sold for $16,200. Purchased on this platform in April of 2022 for $15,650. This was a nice car at a nice price. This was a fair sale. Another Arctic Silver car, this a 2004 911 GT3 with 70,000 miles, sold for $86,500. Purchased from a great seller last March for $90,000. It was a fair sale price given its mileage and a sprinkling of modifications. A lovely slate gray 1986 944 Turbo with 12,000 miles, presented by a great seller, sold for $81,000. An absolutely top-of-market price, this car was well presented and with 12,000 miles across 3.5 decades, woefully underused. A similarly underused Guards Red 12,000-mile 2003 911 Turbo Coupe sold for $109,000. A nice Guards Red, 90% tainted by a yellow sea of despair. This 996 was well sold. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On Cars and Bids, a Lava Orange 2018 911 GT3 with 52,000 miles sold for $130,991. The sticker on this car was $161,000, and it was part of a car club renting out for $1,000 or more per day. This 991 has had a touch of work as well, a new rear bumper and repainted front end, but I think it looks great. This price is a touch higher than I expected. I would say driven by the lava, although as we know, color is so subjective and its correlation to price dynamic. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. On P-Car Market, a Signal Red 1964 Porsche 356C 1600 sold for $50,000. This car has been on sale for a month, and a deal was finally made. It's not a great car. It's fine for a casual owner or driver. This was a fair sale. A horribly photographed marine blue over marine gray 1988 911 Targa with 54,000 miles sold for $80,000. Thousands of dollars were lost or saved because the photography made this car look a dull blackish color. It's a nice color combination when properly photographed, and it was fairly sold based on its presentation. A Guards Red 1983 911 SC with 155,000 miles sold for $45,500. Not a quality Guards Red, this car has had some reported refreshing completed over the past 20 years, but it's due for a overall refresh. It's another car that can be driven while these items are sequentially addressed, enhancing the car all the while. This was a fair sale. A black 2022 911 GT3 Touring with 133 miles sold for $268,000. Sticker on the car was $188,000. This brand new car sold at about market price, but it's still way overpriced. This was well sold. A Porsche 991 launch sign measuring 50 by 12 inches was sold for $1,000. It's a sign. Well sold. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Hi there. This is a set of videos that I put together just for you. I look forward to reading your comments and receiving your suggestions on how to make these videos more enjoyable or ideas for specific content that you might have. Thanks for watching.